A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us on K24 Newscut as we give you the latest updates from across the country. My name is Harriet Chime, and here are our top stories.
We have listened to the view of Kenyans, and we are all in agreement that there are two things that we must do. One of them is that we need to protect Kenyans from increased cost of living.
National Assembly Finance Committee drops controversial tax proposals in the Finance Bill 2024 ahead of the tabling of the bill in Parliament this afternoon. Kenyans set to hold protest outside Parliament to persuade MPs to amend punitive tax proposals against the Finance Bill 2024. Chief Justice Martha Koome leads the judiciary in mourning the late Makadara Principal Magistrate Monica Kivuti.
Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for joining us once again. Now, Kenyans are set to hold protest outside Parliament today to put pressure on members of Parliament to amend clauses on the finance bill that they term as punitive. The organizers of the protest, dubbed Occupy Parliament, said that they had met all the requirements for the peaceful protest. However, Nairobi Regional Police Commander Adamson Bungei says the protest is illegal, arguing that no one applied for a gathering or picketing permit as expected. A section of human rights activists has called on Kenyans to come out in large numbers to stage a sitting outside Parliament and be on the right side of history as they demand that the bill be amended. Insisting that it will be a peaceful protest, the activists said the sit-in running under the tagline Occupy Parliament and Reject Finance Bill 2024 is only about citizens rising against government's overtaxation. Police have already warned of possible disruption of traffic flow on some roads near the Parliament building as part of efforts to contain the planned protest outside Parliament in Nairobi to oppose the Finance Bill 2024.
Well, indeed, Harriet, true to the word of Adamson Bungei, the Regional Commissioner for Nairobi, police have deterred any attempts by the Kenyans here trying to access Parliament. They have barricaded all ways that access, all roads that access Parliament, from Harambee Avenue all the way to this road from the Cathedral that heads down to Parliament, as well as the main highway. Those who have tried and made attempts to access Parliament have indeed faced the wrath of tear gas canisters as well as water boozers that have been here to disperse them. Where I'm currently standing is right next to Huduma Center, where we have a latrine right between the Huduma Center and Nairobi CBD. And just minutes from now, we've had police disperse people and crowds of people attempting to gather here with tear gas canisters. And probably we can just get to attempt to speak to one of the demonstrators right here to get to understand probably what pushed them to get to this point of demonstrating. Start with your name and then tell us what really got you to come into the streets yourself.
Okay, I'm Petronila, and I'll start with this mad woman here. She says that Ruto is immortal, so he should not be questioned. This is a woman in Parliament. She says Ruto is immortal. Immortal ni mtu ambaye hakufi, ni kama Mungu. This is an MP saying that Ruto should never be questioned. So she will vote yes. This is very dangerous because this is a government with a Shakahola mindset. They are not even fit to run the country. I don't know. It's just that we can't do anything.
And
Number two.
Getting you to the finance bill, what are the issues that you'd say are really irking you as a Kenyan?
Top on the list, the most dangerous thing on that finance bill is insecurity. There's a clause that gives the KRA access to all your personal data. Now, remember, this is a group led by one Ruto and Farouk. Being able to control how your data is used. Can you see that? That's something I better be shot now than be shot after they have implemented it.
Curious, did you participate in the previous demonstrations led by Azimio Premier Raila Odinga probably last year?
I'm always there. I'm always there. So I'm used to tear gas. And today, I think this is what they use. They threw this. I'm used to that. So if they want to use bullets, let them use now. Once they are given access to personal data of Kenyans by the MPs passing the finance bill, you're comfortable in your house. You'll be running because these guys are crazy. These are not the kind of people you give personal data.
All right.
Not where there's Farouk and Ruth.
Thank you very much. Let's have someone else join us for this conversation. Start with your name. Tell us probably what has really irked you into participating in today's demonstrations.
Thank you so much. My name is J.M. Kiathe. I come from Makueni County. What is really paining us as Kenyans is the very fact that Ruto campaigned on a platform of reduction of taxes. Ruto campaigned on a platform of not borrowing. So far, we are told that 860 billion has been borrowed in the last 12 months. We don't see any road coming up anywhere in the country. We don't have any mega project happening in the country, but he's still borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. At the same time, he is overtaxing Kenyans. We saw him campaign on a platform of reduction of taxes. Today, he's talking about increasing taxes left, right, and center. So,
well, indeed, that's police really passing right there. You can conclude even before we have the next person.
Yeah, you can see these people want to run this country as a failed state. In fact, this is like a failed state. They want to force the finance bill by just lobbing tear gas everywhere, left, right, and center.
Online, we saw a campaign. People are talking to the MPs, urging them not to participate. Have you had a chance to speak to your MP?
I have told my member of parliament for Kaiti, Joshua Kimilu, that today is a defining moment for this country. It is going to be a vote against the people or for IMF, because this budget is IMF driven. IMF has given conditions to Ruto, and that's why whatever is going to be passed today, it is not for the common interest of Mwananchi, but for IMF and the Bretton Woods institutions. We are saying no and no.
All right, let's get to hear another voice.
Thank you. My name is Meshak Odede. I have two things. Number one, if it is a budget and a finance bill that is for the people and by the people, we would not be seeing tear gas all over the capital city of Kenya. So the meaning of protest is not about winning. It is about sending our voices as Kenyans that we are dissatisfied with the government and the way they do their things. So that message is already home, and I think even the people sitting at Bretton Woods right now can watch from Washington and see that Kenyans are indeed dissatisfied by our stooge called William Ruto, the president of Kenya. Number two, if indeed it is a project for government and for the people, why would the entire Kenya Kwanza parliamentarians gather at State House? In the Constitution of Kenya 2010, we have separation of powers, and Parliament is supposed to be operating on its own as an independent body in the Constitution. So why is parliamentarians from Kenya Kwanza gathering at State House? Does that show Kenyans who are gathering here that Parliament is actually run from State House, when we actually need Parliament to be independent? Why can't they do their PG meeting at Parliament and not at State House?
Well, indeed, that right there is a police Land Cruiser that has come and lobbed tear gas right where we are conducting our interview, and we are just part of those who are trying to find their way away from the action, as people try to find secure locations where they can run to. And most definitely we'll be bringing you an update on what's transpiring even as we continue to follow up live on the events. And just to clarify, hold. And just to clarify, just among the things that have been mentioned right there is that some have been overtaken by events, as we had the Parliament rectifying some of the contents in the finance bill. The finance committee led by Kimani Kuria after retreating to deliberate on the views of Kenyans in the public participation forum, then they retreated and withdrew some of the reasons that could be leading to the demonstrations that we have here today. But true to Adamson Bungei's word, police are doing all they can to ensure that there are no forms of gathering within Nairobi CBD. We have all policemen, some in uniform, some without uniform, all reacting and dispersing crowds using use of tear gas as much as they can. For now, Chimea, allow me to take it back to you in studio, but we'll keep following up on whatever is transpiring here to ensure that our viewers get a full picture of what happened in Nairobi today.
Well, thank you, David Kagina, for bringing us the latest on that front. And as you can see on your screen, police are lobbing tear gas on Kenyans who are protesting, as they have termed the protest as illegal. And these are Kenyans who have termed their protest as that of Occupy Parliament, all in opposition of the Finance Bill 2024. So be sure to get a detailed update on that story later on. Now, the government has dropped major tax proposals contained in the Finance Bill 2024 ahead of the tabling of the report in the National Assembly. Addressing the media after Kenya Kwanza Parliamentary Group meeting at State House, the government, through Finance and Planning Committee Chair Kuria Kimani, said the decision comes after a rigorous public participation process that was conducted last week. Among proposals that have been dropped that had caused an uproar from the public, including tax on bread, motor vehicle and eco levy. The crucial meeting was chaired by President William Ruto. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and top parliamentary leaders also attended the meeting at State House.
When we started the public participation in Finance Bill of 2024, we did make a promise that public participation would not be an exercise in futility. We have listened to the view of Kenyans, and we are all in agreement that there are two things that we must do. One of them is that we need to protect Kenyans from increased cost of living, and therefore the proposed 16% VAT on bread has been dropped. To support again, on reducing the cost of living, we are doing something about vegetable oil so that we do not make it expensive for Kenyans. Transfer of mobile services is a key concern to many Kenyans, and therefore, again, we have proposed that we do not have any increase on taxation on mobile phone transfer. We have seen in the recent past the proposals that we've made on statutory deductions on SHIF and housing levy has added a loan on especially on salaried Kenyans, and therefore we have proposed that those statutory deductions now be allowable to pay, so they will not pay an additional pay on those. We all agree that environment conservation is a key concern. The fact that we've had a drought and a few months of floods and our drainage clogs, we have agreed that we need to make a good decision about how to protect our environment. And that is what the wisdom on the introduction of eco levy. However, imposing this on locally manufactured goods would again increase the cost of those locally manufactured goods in the country and stand a risk of making them not competitive in the East African market and globally. Therefore, this eco levy will only be chargeable to imported finished products. And therefore, all locally manufactured items, and especially including diapers and sanitary towels, will not be subject to eco levy. We must make sure that we become a manufacturing country and not a trading country. And therefore, the imposition of this only on imported finished products makes our locally manufactured products more marketable to the, not just reducing the price, but also making them affordable to even export.
Now, elsewhere, over 10,000 women entrepreneurs from across the continent are said to benefit from a business networking and marketing linkage from a partnership between ABSA and International Trade Center, She Trades Kenya. The conference has seen select women-led business from the agri-good, textile, handicraft and accessories participate in a one-on-one business meetings with potential buyers from the UK and African corporations. Let's listen in.
A very good afternoon to you. Trust you're well in the studio, and I'm here at an ABSA conference whereby it's an Inspire Me conference 2024, whereby it has attracted over 10,000 women across Africa in different diverse business setups. And here I'm joined by ABSA Business Banking Director, Ms. Elizabeth Wasuna. Very good afternoon to you. It's good to see you. Kindly just give us an overview of this year's conference.
Thank you very much for having me. This year's conference is themed Empowering Her Growth. It's a conference that brings a lot of women together. We're targeting 10,000 women plus, because it's an opportunity for women to come together, be inspired, and be also able to inspire others. So we have representation from actually 12 countries across the globe, most of them, of course, from an African perspective. We are so excited that they brought some of their wares as well to show us what they can be able to do. And, we have 10 buyers, 10 huge buyers from the UK who've also come in to see what we're doing in Kenya, what we're doing in Africa, and be able to support women in growth. So for us, this is the third year running. The first year was during COVID. Second year, last year, we went into Ghana, and we were able to take entrepreneurs from the Kenyan domain into Ghana. This year, we have the entrepreneurs across Africa coming into Kenya to really share, because I think we normally tell our children sharing is caring, right? So we have taken on that perspective. But it's also aligned to ABSA's mission in saying that we're empowering Africa's growth together, one story at a time. And it's an opportunity for women to tell their story.
And perhaps maybe there's some who would want to know which cadres does this conference cover? Does it also cover people in the small, medium enterprises? And apart from maybe the agri-food industry and textile, which other sectors does it cover?
Thank you. Today's conference, and hosting today and tomorrow, is really covering all sectors. All sectors, because women come in all shapes and sizes. And when we talk about inspiring and being inspired, women could be in one business and be inspired to do something else. So we have a little of everything to start the conversation going. People who are hoping to get into business, those who are already in business, those who are also in corporate, because there's an opportunity for corporates to also influence the support to women who are starting their journey. So, it's a door open to everybody. There are those who are invited into the room. We've asked all women to register, because it's important that you register on the platform that we've provided across our social media to take part. I think our biggest fault is that if we don't take opportunities like this seriously and actually take an opportunity to log in and to engage and to be brave, ask questions. It's an opportunity that could possibly pass if we don't do that. So it's an opportunity for all women across Kenya and the continent for sure.
And we know that there was the women here are able to benefit from the marketing linkages. Apart from the UK delegation, do we have any other delegation from the continent that also the women can leverage on?
Absolutely. As women, when we bring in our goods, we don't limit it to just a few people. Whoever is willing to buy, if you come and see something that you like here, it strikes an opportunity for you to import or to export. So we are saying that, women must be bold and brave and say, look, I'm ready for this, or can you prepare me for this? Can you prepare me to export? Can you prepare me to import? So yes, there are buyers in the room who are officially there because they're already doing scale. And for those women who are ready, they will take advantage of those. But there are also those who want to walk the journey and see how the other women have walked. Why not? Engage. See whichever part you're in. There are others who've come in because they haven't even registered. Look, it's an opportunity to be inspired and to look at the other women who walk the journey, and to learn from them. Yeah.
And maybe perhaps before I let you go, one final question. Over the years, you've seen the growth. How do you compare the previous years and this year? And also, do we have a possibility perhaps of seeing people inking deals here and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I think our hope and our prayer is that women will connect, and this will be the birth of big ideas and also big deals. When we started this conversation in 2021, we had about 3,000 women, and that was a COVID year. Last year, we were able to impact about 8,000 women. This year, we're topping 10,000 women across, and it's possible that there'll be more. And in the 2 days, we're hoping that there will really be engagement to the extent where deals will be struck. I think every time we've had conferences, we've had deals struck. So we're expecting that the same will be, there'll be a same here. So really looking forward to seeing women inspired. Yes, looking forward.
All right, thank you so much. And that was the ABSA's banking business director, Miss Elizabeth. Remember, this conference has attracted over 10,000 women entrepreneurs from across Africa, all the way from South Africa, from Mauritius. They're just coming to exchange business ideas. Others have come here to network and also to get a mentorship program. Back to you in studio.
Well, thank you, Bentura, for bringing us the latest on that front. For now, we take a very short break. More stories to come. Stay with us.